Hello everyone, welcome to the 5th installment of my Pocket Japan channel. Now before I actually get to the lesson segment of the video, I want to briefly apologize for my very long absence. I mean, I was gone for like 5 months or something. Now I didn't abandon YouTube, or I didn't really consciously try to do so. I just had it very rough. I had it very busy, things ranging from a 3-week trip to Japan, which I guess you can call a luxury problem, but I mean, I couldn't really make any lessons while in Japan. Things like that. Also, midsummer exams, finals exams in June. The school year started again in September. So yeah, I was very busy. I just couldn't really get around to making videos, for which I want to apologize now. Now, what are we going to cover today? Today I was thinking of giving you guys the first introduction to grammar. So I will be teaching you how to make basic sentences with the verb to be. So I'll be teaching you how to make sentences such as, this is a cat. I am, insert your name here. Stuff like that. It's really easy. The Japanese grammar is really quite fun once you get used to it. So let's, by all means, start this adventure now. But now, what is this magical word we call to be in Japanese? It's actually quite easy. It's quite a short word. It's just pronounced as des. Des. That's how it's pronounced. Okay, now I will be showing you a couple of things with this word. I will show you how to make basic sentences with that. So I am a friend. I will also be showing you how to put it in the positive, the negative, the past, and the present tense. So you'll be able to make quite a lot of sentences already after just watching this one video. So what would a sentence look like with to be? You just put A wa be des. So if you were to say this is a cat, then you would say kore wa neko desu. Kore wa neko desu. The Frenchman is a friend. フランス人は友達です. As you can see, the des is always at the end of the sentence. I've said it a lot of times before, I think. The verb usually comes at the end of the sentence, so this is the same here. Now, what is the wa, which is actually written as ha, doing there? That's actually a particle. Now, particles may, the word particle may actually scare you a little bit, but it's actually quite easy. So what does a particle do? The particle wa, in this case, it indicates the topic of the sentence. So it always goes after the topic of the sentence. So, これ is the topic. これは猫です. フランス人は友達です. Hopefully I'm not going to confuse you too much by what I'm about to say, but if you know your hiragana, then you may say like, hey, this is not wa, this is ha. Yes, this is indeed the hiragana symbol for ha, so it should be pronounced as ha, not as wa. But for some reason, when this is a particle, then it's particle wa. So it's pronounced as wa. This is kind of like one of the only exceptions in the Japanese language, so bear with it. This is like the only one I can really think of. If this symbol, so if the ha is actually the particle, then it's not pronounced as ha, but it's pronounced as wa. Try to remember that, but you will hear me use it a lot, so I guess it won't really be that difficult after a while. There are plenty of particles in the Japanese language, but they're actually quite easy. There are like particles for indicating the direct object of the sentence, for indicating the location something is taking place in, etc, etc, but we'll get to that later. I would also like to remark that des can only be used with nouns so far. For adjectives and stuff like he is pretty or the apple is red, it's a little different. I mean, adjectives usually have their own conjugation like verbs. This may seem very scary, but the conjugating is very easy. I'll get to that later. Just patience. Patience, please. Now, so for now, you can only say noun is noun or noun equals noun. I am a student or something like that. I would just want to point that out first so as to avoid any problems with that. So now you know how to make a sentence with the verb to be, but you still don't know how to conjugate it, so now I'll show you that. How do you do that? So if you want to go present, affirmative, so positive present, that's just to be, I am something, then you just say des. We know that already. Now if you want to put that present positive into a present negative, then you turn the des into ではありません. 私は学生ではありません. I am not a student, as opposed to 私は学生です. I am a student. Now to put that verb in the past tense, so past affirmative, des turns into でした. 私は学生でした. I was a student. And if you want to put that past tense into a negative form as well, then you turn でした into ではありませんでした. 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 私は学生ではありませんでした. I was not a student, as opposed to 私は学生でした. I was a student. But fortunately, because it's pretty long, ではありません, ではありませんでした, etc., etc., you can actually make it shorter if you're like speaking to friends and stuff. You can just shorten it up. So です turns into だ. So instead of saying 私は学生です, you say 私は学生だ. Now, this is only used to like your close friends and stuff like that. Like, definitely not use this against your teachers or your superiors, or they might punish you for that because it's quite non-respectful or like respectless, I guess I can call it. So, des turns into da, deshita turns into datta. 私は学生だった. ではありません turns into じゃない。じゃない。私は学生ではありません。私は学生じゃない。I am not a student. And ではありませんでした, the past negative, turns into じゃなかった. Notice how the じゃない and じゃなかった are quite similar, and how the だ and the だった are also quite similar. So, 私は学生ではありませんでした, I was not a student, would be 私は学生じゃなかった, I was not a student. Wow, it's already over. I have to hand it to myself. That went by quite quickly. Now, you can also try making your own sentences, of course. I mean, you've already seen a couple of words, so you can use that vocabulary to make your own sentences to practice. And now comes the next part of the video, which is the vocabulary section. So for today, I have some expressions and some nouns in store for you guys. Now let's start with a very famous expression, ありがとうございます。ありがとうございます。ありがとうございます。Which means thank you. It's a polite version of thank you. If you take away the gozaimasu at the end, then it makes it more informal. As a response to thank you, you have you're welcome, which is pronounced as どういたしまして。どういたしまして。どういたしまして。Now, as you can see with ありがとうございます and どういたしまして, the ありがとう, the to sound is lengthened, and with どういたしまして, the do sound is also lengthened. Next one up, you have 気をつけてください。気をつけてください, which means be careful. Then you have 頑張ってください。頑張ってください。頑張ってください. Notice how the て is doubled, so it's not 頑張ってください, but it's 頑張ってください. Then you have お名前は何ですか？お名前は何ですか？お名前は何ですか？Which means, what is your name? 英語を話しますか？英語を話しますか？英語を話しますか？ Which means, do you speak English? 英語を話しますか? The o is again a particle, which I want to refer back to the particle wa earlier in this video. Now onwards to some nouns. First one up, you have 名前。名前。名前。Which means name, and it's quite obviously used in the phrase お名前は何ですか? Which means what is your name. Next word is also from that. It's 何 or 何. 何 何. It varies whenever you use the two, so yeah, it's easy to learn, but I'm not going to go into further detail about that. This means what. So basically in the phrase お名前は何ですか? You're saying your name is what? Question mark. Next word is 今日. 今日, which means today. 明日. 明日. 明日 means tomorrow. Now don't say ashita. Even though it's written as ashita, it's ashita. Next word is あさって. あさって. Now it's a double T sound, so あさって, not あさて, which means the day after tomorrow. 昨日, a lengthened no sound turns into no, so 昨日. 昨日, which that means yesterday, and おととい. おととい. おととい means the day before yesterday. And last word is 水. 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 That means water. So now that's it for the vocabulary. Hopefully this video was educational. I certainly hope it was. You can also try making your own sentences with the grammar we've seen in this episode or in this video. Perhaps you will learn a lot of things from it. I mean, you've already seen a lot of vocabulary. You can now use that vocabulary, or at least the nouns from that, and make your own sentences by saying the book is a movie, or the school is a house, or something like that. I mean, the sentences are not really gonna make much sense, but I guess now you can use the grammar, so maybe you can try practicing it. Thank you very much for watching. I'm already gonna say goodbye, but there is still a part after this. I'm gonna show you how to make the how to write down the next couple of hiragana symbols. I think we are now done with the T row, so we will now go onwards to the H and the B row, if I'm not mistaken. Now, see you guys in the next episode or the next lesson. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to show some support.